Hey guys, Itaewon Sammy here. Hope everyone is doing really well and being safe. I want to talk today about something that is really sensitive, really a serious topic. So, no background music, nothing fun or anything like that. Just a real deal. Okay. There's been a lot of news lately that I have been seeing and some stories I've heard. So I wanted to get this out here because I've never really talked about this. It doesn't personally affect me, but it's something that I think needs to be talked about, and that is um, in relation to the Me Too movement and the safety of a single woman in Korea. Very sensitive topic, so I'm sorry. I'm not saying anything bad. I'm not saying anything whatever. I'm just going to give some realities that I have personally seen, heard, and experienced. Facts and statistics and other things. That's something that you can look up yourself. But if you're coming to Korea, I want to share my opinion, if that's if that's if that's what you're here for, is what I have seen, what I have heard. Okay, so as most of you know, I'm been in Korea 13 years, and for the last pre-COVID, last 6 to 8 years, I worked in the club business. Now I worked in Itaewon. I didn't work in Gangnam. I have been to Gangnam clubs a few, but that was probably about 10 years ago. I haven't been to any recently. It's not my style. I have been, but it's a different world. It's a different world. So the reason I'm talking about that is because of the Burning Sun scandal that happened about 4 years ago, 5 years ago. That brought to light a lot of information about what goes on there. In my club, I have never seen anything. I have to be very careful. It's a very sensitive topic. So I walk around the club, I see what goes on. I've been in clubs in Canada, in the United States, in Europe, all over the world. And the same things happen there that happen here. Guys talk to you, they grab you, they might touch you where you don't want to be touched, but it happens everywhere. So saying it happens here doesn't make it right. What I'm saying is, this is information that someone who hasn't been here before should be wary of. You are going to get touched. I don't want to say groped or anything, but you're going to be touched in a club in Korea, especially if you're a foreigner. The style here in Korea is they will grab you to pull you to their table to have a drink. It's not right, but that's what happens, okay? So there's that. That's what I've seen happen. I haven't seen anything else ever happen. We have very good camera coverage. There's no private areas in the club that I used to work at. There's no private rooms or anything like that. We have a heavy security presence in the club, watching, making sure everyone's safe. So that's very important. There's never been an issue in the 6 years that I worked at my club. There's never been an issue. No one's ever came up and said anything. No one's ever made an accusation or anything like that. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, okay? But I've never seen it, and it's never happened, been reported in our club. So that being said, Korea is very safe compared to other countries. But that being said, a single woman should be wary of her surroundings when in Korea. Now, like I said, I'm not justifying anything. I'm just saying you need to take care of yourself because there are bad people out there. You need to take precautions. Being with your friends and being wary and etc. and locking your doors and etc. and things like that. I mean, just normal things. There are bad people out there. There are less bad people in Korea than in other countries, but there are still bad people. Now, the dark side, that's what I'm talking about. Is the dark side about living in Korea as a female is that what I have heard and what I have seen, because I belong to a Facebook group that I participate in, and these things come up, sexual assaults, violence, etc., stalking. The Korean government has moved forward in baby steps, slow steps, to address these situations. Just recently, the new stalking law came into effect and the reportings have gone up. It used to be just like a $50 fine and wasn't a criminal. Now it's become criminal. Other laws that have come into place as well, like sending unwanted text messages, etc., things like that. The Korean government is doing that. In certain cases that I've heard is that the police don't take the proper steps to address a complaint or a criminal act. I've heard that. So there is a problem. There are solutions to it, obviously, but I mean, that's not for me to say. I'm not a citizen. This is not my country, but they should be addressed. Again, my point is I want those of you who are coming here to Korea or thinking of coming here to Korea to be aware, even someone who's been here for a long time can get themselves affected by this bad thing. Okay, I'm not going into too many details because again, this goes on YouTube, and I just want to be kind of family friendly about it. I don't want to go into too many details about things, but what I'm trying to say is, what you would do in your home country, you should continue to doing here, even though Korea is a very safe country. And if something unfortunate does happen to you, there are expat resources available specifically for these cases, where a nonprofit group or a government organization will support you through the process, with not therapy, like someone to support you, someone to walk you through the legal process, translators, all of those things that are required to help you, being that you don't have any family here, you don't speak the language, etc., etc. The things that are different than North America is that the family will know who you are, and they will contact you. And they will contact you not to harass you, but they will contact you to try to get you to drop the case for a financial reward. It's called blood money, and that happens here in Korea for any civil action or criminal action. I've talked about this before. I was pushed at my club and I hurt my head. Well, I bumped my head against a door and I had a red mark. I got a million won out of it, $1,000, because I signed a criminal complaint. Because the guy continued and he punched one of my other guys and gave the guy a sore face. Cops came, arrested him, and everything, and we signed the complaint. He got like $2,000 or $3,000. I got $1,000. 6 weeks, it was done, and I waived the complaint, and that was it. Now, the family's gonna. That's the other thing. The family's gonna try to contact you, and they will do this for a long time. I've seen the stories where the family's constantly calling, texting, knocking on the door, because they will find out where you live, your name, your phone number, all of that stuff. I don't know how to be again, it's a very delicate, sensitive topic, and I don't know what more to say other than living here. I have seen the differences between Canada, where I lived, Toronto, and here, and I genuinely feel that it is safer. I feel safer personally walking down the street. I have female friends, and they relate to me because I've asked and I've talked about this over, previously. They feel safer, but there is a dark side to Korea. It is a patriarchal society. It is a man's world, and I have seen in certain cases where culturally, depending on the person, depending on how they were raised, it happens in any country, don't grow up the right way. I was raised I respect women to the point where I feel that they are better than men. Because, if you think about it logically, why do men work so hard to attract women? Because they're valuable. Not valuable. They feel that they are of value to them. Okay? So I think the way I look at it is that, I was raised in Canada, is a very liberal country, and everyone is treated equally, and which I find really amazing. Even the laws treat people equally. Just a quick side note: there was a woman was arrested for baring her breasts in public, and they took it to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said, "Well, that's illegal. You can't give her a ticket and not a man. You're treating them unequal." They weren't saying that it was legal to do it. What they were saying is that the law was written wrong. Okay, so it wasn't a criminal act; it was a moral violation, but the law was criminal. So that's what I'm saying. The law was changed, and Canada is very progressive about that, about treating people equally. And throughout my work life, all of my mentors and all of my superiors were all female. So I and my mother as well is a very strong woman. So that, I think that helped me when I was growing up. But here in Korea, it's a little bit different culturally, and because Korea is a kind of like a new country. I've talked about this before. They only really came into being a modern country, a leading nation, 40 years ago, 50 years ago. So that's a very short time to go a long, long way. So the culture and the society needs to change. The older generation, like in any country, has those preconceived ideas. They won't change. The younger generation is bringing forward those changes. So I have seen the changes. I've noticed them. It is safe. But like in any situation, you gotta take care of yourself. In any country, no matter what, you gotta take care of yourself. You don't leave your doors unlocked. You could here, technically. I would have no trouble in leaving my doors unlocked. But in North America, never. Absolutely not. Not for a second. Okay? But here, I don't have a problem because of the way this country is. And I'm a man, etc., etc. But you do hear stories of men following women home, trying to get their phone number, trying to talk to them, or what have you. Korean men following foreign girls. You hear those stories. It happens a lot. And you hear these stories. You hear things about happening in the bars or the clubs or what have you. It's unfortunate, but that is the dark side of living in Korea. A lot of these, it's not an excuse. This is my opinion. Why these guys do this is because they're a little bit older, and they've never met or seen a foreigner, and their idea of a foreigner is only what they've seen on TV or mass media. They have no experience talking to or meeting with a foreigner, so their perception is skewed. And the only way that can change is through education. So, I mean, there is a solution. It's education. So that I guess that's what I'm trying to get at. I'm trying to get at that this is a problem globally, worldwide. And if you are here or coming here, you need to be aware of it. That's what I'm trying to say. Is everyone touts how safe Korea is, and it is, but there is a dark side. You need to watch out for it. And if you are involved in a situation like that with the police, there's also issues and problems. But there is a support structure that has been created to help do that. So to help you through that. So I guess that's what I'm trying to get at here, is that no matter where you are in the world, please take care of yourself and look for resources to help you in the event that you're in a situation that you need help. Reach out to friends, what have you, report, and get the help that you need. Okay, so please be safe, everyone. Take care of each other, love each other, and just be happy and healthy and safe. This is Itaewon Sammy on a very serious topic. Talk to you soon. I'm out.